Over the last couple of years, fans have felt disappointed with how the latest editions of the Slam Dunk Contest have turned out. Not only has the competition itself been underwhelming, but also the talent pool. Long gone are the days where superstars would battle out for dunking supremacy, as more role players and end-of-bench guys have entered the contest as of late. But as sad as the decline of the Slam Dunk Contest has been, the 2022 event we just saw might have been the absolute worst in NBA history. But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First, a lackadaisical talent pool. After years of watching some of the absolute best dunkers and star players compete in the Slam Dunk Contest, these latest editions have featured some, well, let's just say, lower profile players. Despite the NBA's best efforts to include some big-time names in the contest in hopes of drawing more attention, most of the star players and recognized dunkers have politely declined invites by the NBA league office. Nope, said Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards, one of the most ferocious and recognized young dunkers in the NBA. When asked if he'd ever participate in the Slam Dunk Contest, "I'm an in-game dunker. Not even Portland Trail Blazers emerging star and 2021 Slam Dunk Contest champion Anthony Simmons had any interest to come back and defend his crown in this year's edition. I just wanted to focus on the season," Simmons told The Athletic shortly before the All-Star Weekend festivals, adding that participating in the dunk contest was more of a checklist accomplishment. This left the NBA with no choice but to settle for some lower-profile players this year, and while we still saw some athletic young stars in the making like the Orlando Magic's Cole Anthony and the Houston Rockets' Jalen Green, we also got New York Knicks big man Obi Toppin, who was supposed to become a key part of the Knicks' future after being drafted 2 years ago, but is averaging less than 13 minutes per game so far in his career, and Golden State Warriors forward Juan Toscano-Anderson, who emerged from the Warriors' G League affiliate team as Steve Kerr desperately looked for additional contributors, with all three of their maximum contract players in Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green missing big chunks of action over the last 3 seasons. The funny thing is, neither Cole Anthony nor Jalen Green, who were the two biggest names and favorites to win the contest, made it past the first round after a disastrous early showing. Next, a forgettable first round. The first round of the 2022 Slam Dunk Contest was an absolute hot mess. The 4 participants went a combined 7 for 25 in first-round dunk attempts and 28% accuracy. Jalen Green went 1 for 9 in his first dunk attempt alone. And while it's fair to say that previous dunk contest participants have set the bar incredibly high for future participants, the dunks we saw this year and the remarkably low accuracy on their attempts were in general quite disappointing. To open up the first round, Cole Anthony brought his father, former 1991 lottery draft pick turned broadcaster Greg Anthony, to the court. And while we all assumed the elder Anthony was invited to assist his son with a dunk, he came for another reason. Anthony opened up his backpack and pulled out a pair of Timberland boots from it. Yes, you heard that right. Cole Anthony wore Timberland, or construction boots, for his first dunk of the night. Jeez. Today's players are obviously forced to be more innovative with their dunks during the contest. But is this really what we've come to? Anyway, after a couple of missed attempts, Anthony finally converted a left-handed windmill dunk after grabbing the ball from his father's hands. He did so while wearing the boots and his dad's New York Knicks jersey. But due to the repeated misses, the 6'2" guard only managed to get a 40. Up next was Juan Toscano-Anderson, who before his dunk attempt went over to the judges' table to get his ABA-style ball signed by the legendary Julius Erving. Toscano then used his signed ball and jumped over Warriors teammate Andrew Wiggins before completing a one-hand windmill dunk, clearing Wiggins to perfection. The judges gave him a 44. Then came Obi Toppin, who for his first dunk jumped over a man, went behind his back to switch hands, and jammed the ball through the hoop. He didn't make it in his first attempt either, but the impressive dunk still gathered a 44 from the judging panel. Finally, it was time for the long-awaited attempt of Jalen Green. And ladies and gentlemen, if you thought Cole Anthony's dunk in Timberland boots would be the most ridiculous attempt you'd see this year, in came Jalen Green to prove him wrong. Because in an attempt to generate buzz and hit an outside-the-box dunk, Green gave multiple tries at his first dunk while wearing a gold chain that held a phone that was playing his own NFT highlights from NBA Top Shot. And we thought we'd seen it all. Ultimately, Unfortunately, after being unable to convert any of his first 8 attempts, Green dropped the chain and phone and ultimately settled for a lobbed windmill dunk coming from the right side of the rim. But given it took him 9 attempts to finally make a simple dunk, the Rockets rookie got just a 38 from the judges. As he had the lowest score in round 1, it was Green's turn once again for his second dunk. He hit a nice 360 between the legs jam that earned him a score of 45, but his first dunk score had already ensured he'd be left behind in the race. Then came Cole Anthony, who attempted a lobbed 360 windmill dunk, but he was unable to hit any of his attempts and got straight 6s from the judges, essentially eliminating him from the competition as well. Up next was Toscano Anderson, who hit a 360 reverse windmill coming from the left side of the court. It was good enough for a 43. Finally, it was time for Toppin's second dunk, an impressive self-alley-ooped between the legs reverse two-hand jam that gave him a 46. Without much pressure or competition, Toscano and Toppin advanced to the finals. Don't go anywhere because we're about to see what made this year's finals the worst ever in the slam dunk contest's history. Next, an anticlimactic finals showing. For a dunk contest finals, this was a pretty lackluster showing. Toscano's first attempt was a tribute to Vince Carter's elbow dunk, but he didn't jump high enough to grab the rim with the elbow and instead made just a regular one-handed windmill that earned him a disappointing 39 points. Toppin then went for a weird between-the-legs dunk coming from the left side of the court, but after missing, he opted for a self-lobbed between-the-legs dunk that was somehow good enough to garner a 45 from the judges. For his final attempt, Toscano Anderson changed his jersey to a Jason Richardson Warriors top to honor the two-time champion and the last Warrior to perform in the dunk contest before him. But after at least 7 attempts at a between-the-legs reverse dunk coming from behind the backboard, Tuscan ran out of attempts and ended his participation without hitting a second dunk. This cleared the way for Toppin to win the contest, as even if he missed his own dunk too, his first attempt in the finals had a much higher score than Toscano's, and the Knicks big man closed the event with the dunk he had in mind earlier, a between-the-legs jam coming from the left side of the court in which he hit the backboard with the ball in midair before completing the dunk. It was a pretty nice dunk and he got a score of 47, but the crowd barely reacted, as the anticlimactic finish left fans with a bad taste in their mouths. It was the first dunk contest in over 20 years not to feature a single perfect dunk of 50 points, illustrating how lackluster the event was this year. But still, Obi Toppin deservedly got the win, as he performed the best dunks out of the bunch. Now let's take a look at post-contest reactions. It was an emotional win for Toppin, the son of streetball legend Obadiah Toppin, nicknamed Dunker's Delight due to his electrifying throwdowns. As you all know, my dad, points to him in the room, used to be a dunker, Toppin said, also referencing the 2021 dunk contest in which he came up second to eventual winner Anfernee Simons. For me to win this, I knew I had to come back for my revenge from last year, and I had fun doing it. Toscano Anderson expressed his disappointment with missing his final dunk, but echoed Toppin's feelings on competing for fun. Obviously, I feel a little bummed because I didn't convert the dunk, Toscano said, but whatever, I came here to have fun, and that's what I did. As for Jalen Green, having so many misses and not being able to hit his NFT dunk left him hungry for a rematch. I for sure need a run back because I messed up, said Green after the contest. I need to run that back next year. I just missed. I had the height, I had the power, I got up there, it just didn't go in. At least we now know one of the participants for next year's contest, and it'll be interesting to see if the NBA does anything to change the slam dunk contest format to make it more interesting for fans and attractive for players participating in it. The league has made multiple changes to All-Star Weekend events throughout the years to make them more entertaining, including adding a draft to the All-Star game. So changes to the dunk contest aren't all that unlikely, but for now, the 2022 Slam Dunk Contest will probably go down in history as the worst we've ever seen. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.